right, dude. Fucking, we're rolling. Dude, fucking badass last 24 hours. Dude, just, we went and saw Pantera last night, but also it was just a really cool weekend. I wanted to add this in on that episode Kelly and I did, which Madi couldn't be here for, but I just definitely wanted to, have her on and talk about it and just show my appreciation for Madi, like, doing what she could on the show for, the past year. Missed some episodes and stuff, but, like, we still kept going strong, and Alec was here in the area temporarily, so, thank you for coming on for a quick minute.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys, to 1 year of the podcast. Seriously, it's pretty cool. Madi said something, like, when I first had her on, and I was, like, introducing her to the show and shit, like, at one moment, she's just like, do you plan on doing this for a year or whatever? And at first, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to, like, do this for as long as I can. But then it was, like, when you're kind of getting into the meat of it, there was, like, a couple episodes, like, people were calling out on or wouldn't make it, so there'd be, like, some gaps, and I was kind of getting nervous, like, fuck, dude, I don't know if I can keep up on the what do you call it? Not commitment, but just the repeatability of it, just keeping it going. And but we did, or I did, it's whatever.
You got that shit done.
We got it done. Well, dude, and you have been a huge help, and so it's just 1 year in, 21. This will be 22 episodes now, but it's just really cool. So I just want to say, like, thank you guys, especially you two who have been on. Jake's hiding on the couch. He's not on right now, but he's there. But, just a good time. I just wanted to add that in there. I know you got a flight to catch, so it won't, like, bother you too much, but...
I gotta say, dude, one thing I noticed, though, is you've been keeping up with consistency.
That's the word I was looking for, consistency. I couldn't think of it. Yeah, I was thinking, well, thank you. I'm trying, and I feel like that's how these things, like podcasts, work is, I've said this 1,000 times before, is I'm not trying to be a Joe Rogan or whoever the fuck. I'm not trying to. I just want to put this out there for us and my friends and people who may or may not be interested to check out what's going on. But I do feel like also you need to be consistent on this to be able to get recognition out there, so that way your stuff like starts showing up. And also I've heard that, like, people that say they start podcasts, it's like you got to try to be consistent so you don't lose interest of people. So worked hard on that, but yeah.
Key topics, definitely, if you can pinpoint some that are, popular at the time, pick those, but definitely stick to the ones that you prefer. So if you enjoy certain things, frisbee golf, interview some people with that.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would be pretty stinking cool.
Kelly brought up a good point where, and he's going to be in the latter part of this episode, but we were just sitting there and talking about the show, and he's like, oh, my niece, he just put it out on his Instagram story, like, topics. What do you guys have? I want to be on the podcast tonight. Just put it out to his people what to talk about. And so his niece reached out to him, and she's like, talk about shoes. What's good shoes and what's bad shoes? Just even though it seems like super like I won't say lame, but just you wouldn't think about that, but we kind of got into it where I'm just like, I think Converse are garbage. I'm sorry, but they are. And I think, like, I like wearing boots because they're versatile and all this, just as a light example, is it's like, and maybe it might not have to be like a topic. It can just be an opinion, or, and I make it clear with everyone, as long as it's not politically inclined, I don't want that shit on my show. It's anything else I'm game for,
Yeah.
I'm going to rebuttal you and say that...
I knew this is going to... Yeah, Maddie's a Converse diehard. I do.
Converse are nice shoes. I don't care what you say. It depends on what obvious model of Converse you get. Like, if you get a Chuck Taylor,
yeah,
it's going to be a bat, there's no soul in that. But, like, an all-star, like, old class... Whatever, dude.
Look, I'm not calling you out. Look, I'm not... that wasn't, like... I know you like them. It's just... My thing is, like... with Converse, it's like, they look good. They're classic. They've been around for a while. But, like, they're just not really integrable as far as, like, the structure. Like, they're just a flat plane. Like, there's not really much support there.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Chuck Taylor is not the best shoe. Yeah,
Right.
you know, you wouldn't go on a hike in a Chuck Taylor. There's a reason they don't use Converse as basketball shoes anymore. It's because they suck.
Yeah.
But
They do look good.
I'm not
but
a diehard for Converse. If I'm a diehard for anything, it's fucking Vans, dude. It's
Right,
like all
right.
I wear.
Yeah. No, and
You start
but
talking shit about Vans, I'm on your fucking case.
I was talking shit about Vans. We'll say that for a later podcast.
Are
But,
you fucking kidding me?
well, Kelly was I was like, look, I don't think they look bad. I just think functionally, I don't get them. You know, it's just, you have so many, like, you have boots that have ankle support. Like, if I'm going to buy a piece of footwear, I want something that's going to protect and, like, be comfortable, protect my fucking ankle, and might be a little bit more durable versus, like, something.
They have ankle high Vans.
Yeah, but they look like shit, though.
No, they don't.
Don't they?
The high rise Vans,
Pull
those
up
are
a
dope.
picture real fast on that if you can find that. Well, but see, here's my thing. Like, I like my Nikes or my Jordans. I like high tops.
High
I
rise
like-
skate
Yep.
Vans are literally like a classic.
Honestly, I got a tattoo of some.
I know I'm
Nikes
gonna
on
get
me.
so much hate. Like, I was talking mad shit with Kelly, and I was like, I know Maddie's not gonna like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean,
I love that it brought up Chucks. That's a high rise skate. Skate high.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They look good. Sounds good. Doesn't work.
They literally check all the boxes you just talked about.
Fake
Above the
shoes.
ankle, good support.
Not really though. They're so thin.
You have to get the comfy cush.
The
comfy
cush.
cush. What was that?
I didn't know. You know what? Okay, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Like, you put on a set of Red Wings or a fucking pair of Danners. Excuse me.
Danners suck ass.
Whatever. Red Wings. Fucking Ariots. You know, like you put
A
those.
Keen utility boot ranks above a Danner. I had
Okay, how
Keen
about
utility
this?
boots that lasted longer than a Danner boot did.
Right.
Even the leather, not just like the seams, the leather.
Right.
The leather in a Danner boot is trash. Don't waste your money.
Okay, I'll back off on the Vans for a minute, but you know what I really do have a problem with is Romeos. Fucking garbage all the way around. I'm sorry. They're not functional. They're not safe. And I don't get it. I moved out here, and all y'all motherfuckers be wearing Romeos, and I'm like, I don't get it. I'm sorry, but it's like, that's not a boot. That's a fucking moccasin with leather.
They don't have Romeos in Texas. It's weird.
You know, they don't have Romeos anywhere besides here. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all it is.
Yep.
It's specifically an Oregon thing. Look, you know, respect to y'all, but like, just at the end of the line, basic facts. They're just not a real. And loggers wear these motherfuckers. They're going up on the hills and shit. Like, I don't get it. But
I don't think any real logger wears a Romeo to work.
dude, I know a ton of loggers that wear Romeos.
Jake begs to
I
differ.
wear Romeos, I like them. So,
Oh yeah.
so they're a
Yeah, but
slip-on
you're an
shoe
arborist.
for-
Are you wearing
so-
one right now?
No, they're a slip-on shoe for after you take your boots off.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Nah,
go.
wear
A
your
slip-on
boots,
shoe
they
for
slip
after you're
on.
done doing all the hard work.
That sounds like so much extra drama, dude.
Pull your corks off and then you get in the
Those are
truck.
Jake's slippers.
Right, yeah, because it's the cork boots that like the loggers really wear. Like, it's the fucking, they got like the spokes on the bottom of them or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I went up with Farby one time. You know, he's like, I was like, hey man, take me up with you. I just want to see what it's all about. I didn't do shit. I just watched them, and they're wearing fucking Romeos, and I'm like, dude, that is not safe. That can't be fucking safe. But maybe it was just those guys. But I've observed it amongst other loggers and shit, where I don't know. Maybe they slip them on, put the corks on. I've just never seen it. No idea. But my other controversial shoe topic, fuck Romeos.
Honestly, big debate on shoes. Real question though, what are your big goals you're trying to have for this next podcast?
Oh,
next
man.
year coming up.
Well, I definitely want to keep consistency up for sure.
Mhm.
I really want to, you know, I feel like every episode I'm trying to work harder on like just asking better questions and trying to be, you know, I kind of have a tendency to repeat myself sometimes, I've noticed in shows, because I would just be like in the zone. Like when I had your dad on, I feel like I asked him the same question twice in two different ways, and I don't realize I'm doing that in the moment. So I'm trying to cut back on that. But I think it's just consistency, and I want there to be, because for a while I was trying to set it up where it was like we're doing just legit interviews with like, you know, whoever the fuck it is. And then occasionally we would have like a Billy episode or something where we're just kind of having fun. And I feel like I've been watching them lately, and I'm like, it seems cool to have like a fun episode, which like this one is probably going to be. And then like you have like a legit one, you alternate that. And because I feel like we have a great time as friends doing this. Like, you know, it's fun. And like my brother-in-law hit me up on, well, he just commented on one of the videos. He's like, you know, it was the one with Billy and his roommate, you know, the bud tender guy. And he's like, you guys are a fucking riot. And sometimes when I watch it, like I don't know if it sounds weird or whatever, but I'll just listen to the shit we're saying, like, again, and it's funny. It's funny shit. And so I'm like, man, I feel like if there's a level of balancing that, you know, with a legit interview and just kind of go, I just want to push forward on that. Yeah.
It'd be nice to be able to carry that energy into a serious interview, too, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how you would do that, though.
And I've been trying to figure that out. Like
it
when
doesn't
I had
need to feel like an interview. It can just feel like a bantery conversation, you know?
Right. Like when we had his dad on, you know, Eric, if you're listening, thank you again. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But Eric is,
Big
your
props to
dad
Alec's
is
dad.
really cool. But like when I saw him on Facebook, before I even really got to meet him, I was talking to him and I was like, oh, this dude seems like he might, you know, he's like funny, like, and not saying he's not funny. It's just like, you know, you're like very chill, relaxed guy. And I was like, this is probably what he's going to be like. But he come in, I think because of it being a podcast and like a studio setup, he was probably a bit more reserved. And so I'm like, oh, fuck, like, you know, I wasn't, you know, I just totally need to stop setting pre-examples of someone, you know, because then that way when they get on, I won't act too nervous, which I felt like I did with him because I'm like, oh, this dude's like a professional. Like, he's fucking the real deal.
Yeah, he gives that off. Yeah.
And then we were doing the show, and then like I was telling you, it was like as soon as the cameras are off, and he's like, are we off air? And then I'm like, yeah. And then he just opened up entirely different. I'm like, okay, how do I get that out of that person while the cameras are on? You know, like, it's so figuring that out for sure. It's, you know, yeah.
Hot wings.
You
Someone
gotta take
else-
him out to dinner first.
Someone else already. There's that little nitro gummy bear up there, dude, that no one's ate yet. I'm waiting for someone to eat that on the air.
Alec?
Right here, right now.
9 million,
definitely
9
not.
million
Dude,
Scoville units, dude.
A midnight flight through a fucking
Oh my
flaming
God.
gummy.
Dude, you're gonna
Hell
be
no.
shitting on that plane big time.
Would you
dude.
think about it if it was THC infused?
No. I really can't do spicy stuff anymore.
No?
Shit.
No.
You used to be the hot sauce guy.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, I got
ate
some
too much
good
hot
ones.
Sauce.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, fuck, a jalapeno will fuck me
I
up.
know. Same.
The
I used
white
to think I
tendencies
liked hot
of me
stuff.
have fucked me over.
But I think getting the rest of the camera angles, I definitely want to get more, because, you know, we have like this angle and a couple others. But I think there's better ways to capture it. And so I think I'm going to work on that. Just try to get some better, you know.
Yeah, that's something I would also like to help you with too, is creating like an actual setup that doesn't need to be messed with. Like we can just turn it on and everything is set up the way it is, and like portrait, like I've been saying, portrait captures on each person and then a wide shot, you know.
Right.
I think would, or at least on the guest and the host, I think would be tits.
Yeah, no, and what I found out, like, that thing is really advanced. Like, I'm still learning shit about it, but basically you can set that up where it's like you have, like, say it's this shot here, where it's just Alec and I, but you can have it to where up in the corners are going to be little portrait shots, like, off to the side with, like, say it's you and someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that way there's no switching involved. It's all right there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really kind of like the way the switching, like, shooting back and forth, like, even though it is extra work for, like, you, like, I do like the look of
I
it,
fucking hate pressing buttons.
but, like,
Just kidding.
yeah, I mean, if I had the money, you can get, like, voice-activated switching, but that's, like, super damn expensive to do that.
Yeah, I believe it.
But, yeah, I see what you're saying, that would be pretty cool, to do something more, like, just captures it all in one shot, you know?
Yeah, or like if you're asking, I don't know, a better way to say, like a long-winded question or something that might require a little bit more explanation, I can just go to a shot with you, and then if the answer is long, say a monologue or whatever, I can just go to your guest and then a wide shot once we're all, doing whatever in between or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Just to change it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge... I feel like my fucking mic ain't work. I'm sure it is. I'm loud as fuck. But I definitely... there's a lot of room for improvement. It's only been a year.
Yeah.
But and I feel like that's, like, what's been the funnest thing about this is, like, you're learning... like, the editing or what works and what doesn't, and then you go back and watch yourself and how you talk, and you're like, oh, I should probably fix that just on my normal day-to-day life. You know what I'm saying? Not just on a podcast, but man, I can't believe I talk like that. But it's a super just bizarre thing that I never thought I would like think about those things. So I don't know. Yeah, lots of room for improvement.
Yeah, always.
Can I recommend something?
Yeah, dude, shoot it.
So back when I was younger, I used to hang around like coffee shops around Corvallis, and you would meet a lot of people. So it'd pretty much just like go out, do a bunch of random shit that you may not be interested in, but the community is, where you can find people who are decent at music, who are getting popular, or an artist or something like that, and then find them and see if you can interview them. And then next thing you know, you're, Corvallis' podcast, pretty much. So
Right, yeah.
if you can find like the next hot topic,
That's the thing is like finding the next hot topic. Like I'm sure there are ways. It's just like everyone's so fixated on political shit, So, and I'm sure maybe that might just be the way I see it.
I think that's just the thing that gets the most response.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
it's stupid. Like anytime you talk to someone, you can't ask them how good the ice cream is. They talk about kids being burned in Gaza. Like I can't. Like, come on,
There's a lot of cool stuff happening in Corvallis right now.
Yeah, there's great new businesses are coming up.
They just opened that arcade on Madison that's like $15 for the whole day, and you literally just pay like $15 and you get to play like old retro arcade games. And then there's these folks that have bought Madison Plaza and Madison Square, and they're going to turn the plaza into like a mini mall in downtown Corvallis.
No shit.
Yeah, they got like a whole grant for like a bunch of money to like redo it because it's historical in some way. And
well, good.
Madison Plaza is a bunch of different little businesses, and yeah. Corvallis
is a great little city, man. Like it's got a little bit of everything, and it definitely needs modernization and shit like that. Like I don't know if I announced it on here, but I've been part of Charles. The mayor, who's been on the show before, he asked me to be part of a task force to. I think I'm allowed to talk about this, but it's. I think, but if he tells me, I'll take it off. But it's for amending the city charter.
Yeah.
It's basically the Corvallis Constitution, if you will, and so they just want to modernize the language because some of it's outdated and there's some shit that needs to be changed. So I've been helping with that, but along with that. I went to this meeting the other day where it was him.
Oh, that's still going on?
Yeah, it's going until May of next year.
Holy moly.
Yeah, and so I sat in on a meeting where he was presenting that charter, stuff that, the task force has set up to the city councilors, and they accepted it, thankfully. But while sitting there and watching that, they were also going over, like, new housing development and shit, like, where new buildings are coming up, and it's like down here at the old auction yard, it's getting built up. All these other places in Northtown are getting built up, so it's like constantly expanding here.
Yeah,
and it's there's a lot going on in Corvallis for sure that can be covered.
What do you think a topic or what would you call it, a sub code or whatever? What do you think has been the most ridiculous one or worded one so far?
So I don't really understand it, but there's this one part.
That's a good way to start that.
Well, no, it's no, because there is ones in there that I think are like do need to be addressed. Like they're using like gender language that might be outdated, and they're like instead of just they're just saying let's just say people. We don't need to say male, female. Let's just say voting people, which no matter what your views are makes sense because we just need. It's about voters. It's about citizens. It's not about if you're a guy or a girl.
What if I'm a lizard person?
Well, then you can't fucking vote. And so I think that those are some things that are just being updated. Old shit.
Yeah.
But there's that. There's a couple other things. They talk about like Section 23F on there, which talks about the rule, like the power of the mayor, basically, and the council, and it's not very clear in what it is. If I recall, I have to read it in front of me. Like I said, that one I'm not exactly super sure on what they're. I've asked questions about it. Never
What
got
is
like
it about?
if I had it in front of me, it's it's the way it's worded doesn't make sense. It's talking about like, oh, the mayor can't talk to people behind closed doors about certain laws wanting to be passed, and it's like what do they call it? Not nepotism, but you can't try to favor certain things to be passed and shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Legally, and if you're but it doesn't declare it that clear.
What, like stuff that comes up in a council meeting?
Yeah,
can't be
like
discussed
I can't go
beforehand?
to the bar after a council meeting and be like, "Hey, I want you to vote this down because I don't fucking want it."
Yeah.
Shit like that. I understand Alec has to go. Thank you for coming through. It's cool to have you on. We're gonna pause this and we'll keep going, but I hope you fly home safe. Pretty cool fucking seeing you. A great time at we had all these stories about going to the Spirit Halloween in August, going to the porn shop looking for a mask. Not in that way. Party mask, I swear to God. But, man, it was a great time with you this weekend. I'm glad that you got to go to the, Pop Your Rock Metal Cherry. And, man, that was fucking legendary. It was really a cool time.
It was an honor.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for having me, for hosting, everything like that. Like, honestly, it's been
Dude,
great.
yeah, and like I've told you, anytime you're up here, you are more than welcome to crash. As long as there's a bed open, you got it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to add, say, or?
I'm trying to move my ass back to Oregon. So.
Oh, you are.
You said that last time. You
Yeah,
were
you
here.
did. Yeah.
I mean, like, hopefully it's sooner than later. But yeah, I'll be at the Corral Skate Park here in a couple months, hopefully.
Yeah,
All day.
we're gonna have to catch some footage of you doing some kickflips or some shit. That'd be cool as fuck.
Absolutely.
I used to do a lot of his filming.
Let's make it come back, dude. Let's bring it back. Fuck yeah. Thanks for coming on, dog. Appreciate you for being on the 1 year anniversary.
I love you
We're gonna
guys.
pause this. I gotta take a piss break, and then yeah, I'll walk you out. All right, we're back. We are back. Yeah, fucking Alec had to leave. We love that dude. So hopefully we'll get to see him again here soon.
Yeah.
Alec, he's like such a genuine dude. Sometimes
He is.
like you talk to him and it's just like at first, like when I first started hanging out with him, I got like I won't say like a Chad vibe, but kind of close, a little bit. And I was like, I don't know about this dude, but I started getting closer with him, and I was like, he means really well, and like with his baby, he like takes care of her, and he's a real gentle dude. I always enjoy being around him, so it was cool to see him. Stayed here for a couple nights, went to a concert together, and yeah, I fucking like that guy.
Alec is cool.
Yeah, he is pretty
Yeah.
badass. So shout out to Alec for coming on the show. Madi, as you guys know, we switched around, so
We did.
yeah, we did switch around. But what about you, Madi? Like, in the year of starting this, maybe not even podcast related or whatever. Like, what are your thoughts on like what you got going on?
Like, what could I do better? Thoughts on? What do you mean?
No, I mean like, how are you feeling? Just a year doesn't even have to relate to the podcast. Like I said, just how you doing?
Good.
Good. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like in my fourth, final year of trade school. That's pretty cool. I'm excited for the future there. I'm excited to keep doing this.
It is pretty cool that you. I knew you would, and that's why I asked you to do it. But just having you stick around and do it has been pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, man. I'm glad I get to be a part of it.
Yeah.
One thing I do wish that I did a little bit better, though, is sometimes I feel like the conversation you have with the guest is really, really good. And occasionally I'll pipe in with like a question or something. But I wish sometimes maybe I could think of better or more questions to ask and just be a part of the conversation a little more. Not to like super duper interject or anything, but
No, I want
something.
you to. Yeah. No, please. Yeah. Seriously, because
Sometimes the like topics, like the water filtration and stuff with like Alec's dad, that was so outside of my realm that I didn't even even if it's a stupid question, I want to be comfortable enough to ask a stupid question. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, I don't know about yours, but in my opinion, no question is stupid. You know?
Yeah.
If you're not getting something, just ask.
Right.
It can lead to a really interesting topic.
I like that. If you're not getting some, just seriously, yeah, that's totally true. Just ask. And yeah, like, I don't know shit about that either. Like, I know a little bit about it, but I feel like not being afraid to ask questions about something you don't know shouldn't be looked down upon.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, who the fuck thinks about, if you live in the city, like, who thinks about water filtration? Like, some people do, like I was saying in the episode, is like, yeah, I think about that shit. But some people don't even they're just like, oh, it's just water. It comes out of my sink.
Or even, like, with Mac Moss, I wish I would have asked him more of, like, oh, well, or maybe I did. It was so long ago, I can't really remember. But I wish maybe I had asked him, like, what got you into music and how did you decide to actually jump into that and pursue it? And then, like, because from what I understood, like, Mac Moss had really been a part of or into the music industry. Wow.
No, you're good.
Into the music industry for a while. So he probably, like, kind of knows the ropes or whatever. And, like, what's a better route? And, like, how do you even, like, jump into that? How do you get your first show,
Yeah. I mean, he just put out a new album.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
he just put out a new album.
Shout out to Mac Moss.
Mac Moss, dude, fucking, yeah, if he's around the area again, love to have him back on. Like, fucking, yeah, he's making it big, and, yeah, he's a great guest. But just seeing what he's doing is just, whether you like him or not, or if you think I love his music, but even if you think it's bad, it's like, that's someone who's determined and is out there getting it. Doesn't matter what, and that's, like, he kind of inspires me, like, where I kind of think it's like, even if I upload, like, a podcast episode, if we only get 10 views, that's perfectly fine for me, It's like, that's fucking cool that 10 people sat down, and whether they watched it for 10 minutes or the whole time, it's just like, that's cool, and I feel like Mac Moss is a really good example. It's like, if you go out there and get what's yours, and if you work hard enough at it, like, you can, he's in legit studios. He's got, a bunch of album artwork. Like, he's got great shit. And he just worked at it, And so, yeah, I really like that about him.
Yeah, it would also be cool to, like, I wish I would have asked him even, like, what kind of people has that connected, like, other artists.
Right, yeah.
Not what kind of people, but, like, what other kinds of artists has that taken you into or, like, introduced you to, I just feel like there's so much space to, like, ask a question, and I'm too afraid to ask it,
Right. Yeah, because, like, some of his earlier music, he has rap music where he has, he's featured rappers. He's had, like, kind of country rap kind of guys on and shit.
Yeah.
And so it's like he delves in, like, the hip-hop rap to, like, I guess his latest album is, there's no curse words in it, and it's like, he describes it as, like, campfire music. I haven't heard.
That's how he described it when he's here too, and it was. I wouldn't, like, encase yourself in, like, that specific thing. I think,
right. Well, just explore what if it's like, I'm not a musician or anything like that,
yeah.
But I imagine, like, if that's where you're feeling, then go for it. Like, fuck it. Even if it's bad, you want to do. I feel this is important for anything. Like, if you want to just do it, don't be embarrassed by it. Or, like,
I mean, you're the same thing, right? Like, you've been talking about, or you had been talking about doing a podcast for, like, a couple of years.
For a couple of years, yeah.
You did it. No, here you are.
This is fun, man. Like, I feel like now, like, the past 5 episodes or so, I finally have been like, you know what, I'm not going to do a scripted version of myself. I'm just going to have fun. And it's a blast, Like, obviously, there's rules and boundaries, but,
yeah.
like, it's a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
really is. And now I'm not afraid to sit behind the camera or the microphone anymore. Like, before I opened it, I was like, oh, like, I'll sit with the mic. But those first few episodes was really hard of just being like, oh, my God, like, you're watching everything you say or everything you do, that
Yeah.
you're overthinking it, that you're anxious, and then blah blah blah. But now I'm just like, just be yourself. You be yourself, and if people don't want to watch, they don't have to fucking watch.
There really is something about like being on camera for some reason.
It's weird.
Just like, it's like daunting almost.
It's weird, yeah, because you're like, that's like the eye of, obviously we wouldn't get this, but like when I was first starting the YouTube thing, I was like, I'm gonna treat it, even if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna treat it like a million people are watching, even though it might not be. It's just like, because you're putting it out there, and there's an odd level of respect. You kind of have to be like, oh, I can't be a fucking loser on camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but we have fun here. But yeah, fucking, this has just been a great experience. I'm so happy. Like, I feel like every dollar I've invested in this has been worth it. And it's just the experiences, and even all the people like you and Caleb and so many of you guys that were like there watching it being built before there was even a channel, when all the microphones were different and everything was like not like legit. Like, going from that to what this is now, it's just like, I'm very appreciative of it. And like I said before, like you too, being part of it. So we're going strong on a new level. Fuck yeah.
Thank God that happened.
I was gonna leave you hanging there.
I thought so for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude. This has all been your hard work, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And it's cool to see it, become something that you're proud of. That's super cool, dude.
it's like, yeah, I put it together, but you and just my friends,
Oh,
and
stop.
no, but like, it's just
Stop.
this was like the area of, we all had to come together. But if it wasn't for you and the guests and the people that have been on, and the people that are listening, watching, Shelby, her family, like, fucking, I don't know. I just put the pieces in place, and you guys filled in the puzzle, if that makes sense.
We got you back, dude.
Yeah, so it's, it's not just, I don't want to make it like, oh, it's just a me thing, because it wasn't. But anyway, yeah, so we'll, from this edit, we'll enroll into the Kelly episode, so this will be an extra long one, but happy birthday to the podcast. Again, you guys that are listening, subscribers, likes, whatever the fuck, thank you. You guys are the shit, and, if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be here, I mean,
I think we'd still be here.
It might have been here anyway,
But
just knowing that you guys are out there,
Yeah.
and you're liking, you're commenting, you're watching, and like, that is just so cool, like, it kind of gives me just like, hey, I might not talk to y'all every day of the week, but check this shit out and you'll see what's popping in our lives, like, and so it's just, yeah, again, thank you all. Madi, thank you. Alec, thank you for being on the show. Kelly, yeah, all
thank
of
you to
guys.
anybody else that has ever been on the show.
Literally.
We super appreciate your time and the fact that you were even willing to come on, be on video, and talk to us for, a little bit out of your day. It was super awesome, and really, really appreciate that.
Yeah. On that note, though, I think we got a wrap. Anything else do you have anything else to add, or?
Nope.
All right. Well.
Pantera was sick.
Oh yeah.
and-
Okay. Let's talk about that. Okay.
Okay.
We're not done yet. Okay. Dude, we saw Pantera and fucking Amon Amarth.
Go get your T-shirt, dude.
Yo. Okay. Yeah. I'll go grab it.
Now that Jack is gone, I don't know if he'll watch back the video, but never mind.
So. Fucking.
Super cool.
There it is. Dimebag Daryl. That
Yup.
right there is one of the baddest motherfuckers who has ever lived. And I'm trying to move it the right way. There we go. Fucking, man, Pantera is, my buddy Justin, J.O., if you're watching this, thank you for getting me into those guys. Like, I never, how I first learned about, it's fun, Pantera was from SpongeBob.
No way.
Yeah, because so you know that episode of SpongeBob when they do like the Super Bowl Coliseum thing?
Yeah.
So that episode in the beginning of it says special thanks to Pantera.
No fucking way.
And they did like there's a bunch of guitar riffs in there, and it's from Pantera.
Dimebag did that?
Yeah, he was still alive when that fucking but it was Pantera, and then I think it was not Weezer, but fucking some other band.
Didn't they do like a Journey song or something?
Let me look this up real fast. But yeah, they were totally on there.
So wait, you were watching SpongeBob one day.
Well,
and
so
you happened to see the end credits.
Well, no, it was the beginning of the episode.
You were like,
and I was like, "Who's this Pantera?" Like, and so like
that
after
music
the
was
show,
sick. Oh shit,
yeah.
that's the band.
Yeah,
and it was fucking Pantera.
Pre-hibernation with special guest Pantera. Dimebag was still alive.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and fucking. Literally, I saw that and it was
it's not the Super Bowl one.
Oh, it's a pre-hybrid. Is it not?
That's
Is that when Sandy goes into her fucking
yeah, she's hibernating apparently.
Yeah.
But I don't remember that episode at all.
Oh man.
There's a clip.
Yeah, let's watch a little.
That's it?
Well, no, like throughout the episode, there's like scenes where they're doing stuff and they do the guitar riffs over it, you know? But
oh my god, I want to watch that.
Dude,
now.
It's maybe the Super Bowl one was a different band, but they were in there, and I was like, "Who is this Pantera? Like, that guitar riff sounds sick." And then I listened to it a bit, but I didn't really pay much attention to it until my buddy Justin was like, "Yo, dude, like Pantera is the fucking shit." And then he put on.
Do you think he also found it through SpongeBob?
I don't think so. I think he found it through much different means.
Oh yeah, I listened to these guys. I saw my SpongeBob episode last week. I've heard of them.
But yeah, dude, that concert was just unbelievably like. I feel like every concert I go to, I'm like, man, that's like the best shit, like the best fucking show, like. But man, what that was last night was just something else entirely.
I know it hit a little bit different for you because you just recently got me into Pantera. You showed me that one slow song or a cover of a song or something like that.
Oh, Planet Caravan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, these guys are pretty sick. And then I actually started listening to them. And yeah, I just need to get more into the metal culture, I guess. I listen to like some heavy metal, but I think Pantera definitely kills it.
They're in there, and you know, like, yeah, there's so much new shit, but if you're talking like, yeah, like early stuff, you know, it's like, you know, I'm not saying that they're not Ozzy Osbourne early, but 90s, early 2000s, like they were fucking around and they were making shit happen. And I really feel like, and it's just my opinion, you know, I either agree with it, people listening or whatever, but they really kind of paved the way for a lot of artists in that like speed metal sound, like just they weren't doing the like guttural shit, you know, like they're just fast paced fucking metal, and you know they're bad to the bone. Like great fucking time. Amon Amarth was cool. I'm just like seeing the Viking shit. That was I just can't put into words.
Yeah, Amon Amarth was also really fucking killer.
Yeah, like the whole stage, the gods in the fucking standing there with the spears and the shields and the sword fighting. I'm like, I don't know how you can fucking compete with that, you know?
I wish we could have seen King Parrot, their set, because I guess that's Philip's brother that is in that band
of
or
Amon
something.
Amarth?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I think so.
I didn't know that.
I think that's what he said. I could be wrong, though. I might have misheard. But, yeah, we totally missed that set. But I would love to see that set. You know?
Dude, yeah.
If the Amon Amarth was that good and Pantera is that good live, I can't imagine how, you know, King Parrot's got to be just as good.
Right, yeah. That's some good peers to have under your shit.
Also, apparently they had a really cool shirt. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Dude, seriously. But, like, you know, mad respect to Pantera. You know, they're pushing, you know, Phil's pushing almost 60. And those guys, like, obviously we were watching music videos earlier today, and they had much more energy then, but, like, they're senior citizens, basically, on stage.
Their age did not even... I didn't even realize how old... I feel kind of bad saying how old they were.
But...
How late in their life they are. When you told me that, I was like, no fucking way that guy's 60.
Yeah.
He was just rocking that whole show. I mean, the fact that he could sing like that, it's, you know what I mean? Like, and being in front and, like, just commanding a stage. I already feel old. I'm only 27. Like, controlling a whole crowd. You know, all you got is a mic, and you got that kind of energy to do that, dude.
So the age of
crazy.
Pantera was in 81. Wow.
Yeah, you didn't... My coworkers have told me that. Dude,
I didn't know that. Yeah, so let's see.
my coworkers have made it a point to show me, like, early Pantera, and they sound completely different from what they are now.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Phil... No.
Or, like, Cowboys in Hell. That's a completely different sound than,
Yeah,
like...
he's 57 years fucking old, and
57.
he is destroying that stage. Phil, if you ever see this, man, that was fucking rad. So cool. Like, just... That is someone who's passionate about... Like we were talking about, like, between Dimebag and losing Vinny, like, and he's still... Him and Rex, you know, I thought his name was Frank, but his name is Rex, but, like, those guys are still continuing on. Like, that is just badass, you know? Like, that is some mental strength beyond strength, you know?
Yeah,
that was
dude.
fucking cool. You know, I can't imagine, like, what that must feel like.
Yeah, that's a band that's seen a lot... I mean, a 4-person band, that's a lot of tragedy to lose half of your band, you know what I mean?
Literally, yeah. And
in the
like,
same, like, 10-year, 20-year, whatever.
Yeah.
15-year, actually, you know?
Yeah. Bizarre.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, that was pretty rad. You know, you guys will see all my Facebook posts about that or whatever. I tagged you in one, I think, already.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, dude. So again, happy birthday to the Hella Dank Podcast. You know, we're gonna roll on into the Kelly section now. Kelly's the man. He's been on our first actual guest. So him and I got to shoot the shit. I love you, Kelly. Thank you so much. And you know, that's I think that's a wrap for us. Fuck
Hell yeah, dude. I'm out of beer.
Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate you very much, and you know, glad to have you part of this. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next part of the episode. But yeah, we got the beers. Yeah, so we are rolling.
Nice. How we doing, man?
Good, dude.
It's good to see you. What a great day today,
dude. Oh my god, it's so awesome. And by the time this episode comes out, it'll be a day before an exact year since this was started. So
we hit it within a day.
Yeah. I mean, technically we're a week early, but you know when this comes out. But yeah, it came out August 26th.
Okay, it's team high five.
Yeah.
Look at us go, bro.
And you were the first guest, so I figured, you know, you would be appropriate to have on for this episode. You know, it's just like I didn't. You know, I was definitely ambitious or whatever. I wanted to get this going, but I also kind of was doubting myself where I was like, I don't know, like, am I actually going to commit to this for a year? And yeah, there was a couple episodes missed, you know, like a month and a half or so. There was like a dead space, but I really like kept at it. And even Maddie looked at me and she's like, do you really think you're going to do this for at least a year? And I'm like, that's the goal. I want to do this for as long as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And now here we are, and it just feels so bizarre. Like, do you remember the last time when you came on, like it was like a thunder and lightning storm?
Yes.
Like, do you remember that?
Yes,
that
yes,
was fucking wild. And so I was like, man, how wild would that be if that was going on here? But
it was
yeah.
the signs.
Yeah.
The storm chaser thing has happened since then, which, you know, is in the last year with yourself, and things have been changing. And look at this. Like, here we are. We can actually be famous via the internet and know that we have lived through another year together.
It's bizarre, and you know, it's cheers, dude. Seriously. And if you think,
ass.
yeah.
Can I say kick ass? Like, I care.
No, yeah. I mean, dude, there's been everything is gone on this show so far.
Yeah.
But like, I just think about everything that has happened since the first episode, and oh my god, like you think about like at least in my world, a lot has happened for me. Like, we lost a good friend of ours. There's been some other people, just some other life-changing events happening. People getting married, people breaking up, just, and also political shit. So it's been a wild year since this first came out, and
yes, it has.
it was rough, but it was good in it was rough in ways and great in ways. And so I'm just, at this point, just when I was looking at my phone, I'm like, wait a second, I think we're coming up on a year on this. I was like, wow, like, you know what? I'm happy that I at least did my best to stick with that. Like, fuck.
100%. What a great time.
Yeah. It's a great time, dude. Like, you have been on for, let's see, before this.
Well,
I think
I came on when the episode the year ago, and then me and Gavin came on like not that long right after.
Yeah,
And then there was a long span, and
I think this is since that
this is my third time as a guest on your show. Which, by the way, I would like to say thank you. Hella Dank Podcast, just so you know, is the fire jam, and everybody should subscribe and watch. We would appreciate that.
Please,
Thank you.
and one thing I was thinking of, if any of you guys have some cool stickers, like, I'll even buy them off you or whatever, but like, as you can see, we got the sticker table. If you have any ideas, hit us up, we'll add it. We're trying to just layer this table and stickers for memories. I was trying to set it up for every guest we'd have on. I put a sticker down, but anyway, yeah, it is
a fire jam. I was thinking about that earlier when we were sitting here, preparing for our episode, and I'd give you that one sticker, and I'm like, why did I give that to Jack then? I should have brought it on and should start that trend for
the guest
this
puts
year.
the sticker on.
And we all bring a sticker and put that memory on the table. Granted, in my personal opinion, this table's, tacky. But
It's
in the
tacky.
world of, like, your uniqueness, why not? Let's just tag it up.
At this point, it's like, it's so, like, it started where it wasn't so filled in. Like, the center, I don't think was filled in. And as the show's gone on, it's gotten even more filled in. And so it's just like, we got to make it a thing at this point.
I think so. I think it's a cool thing.
Yeah. Like, I just made a reel before we got started where I was like, dirty, gritty, chaotic, probably some of the words I would describe the studio.
Okay.
But I know one day it'll become something better, but right now what matters is it's got character and functionality.
Well, I can tell you next time I'll just bring a microfiber cloth or whatever.
Yeah, we need to do some dusting.
I got you, bro. We'll hook it up. No, you're actually it's pretty good. But also, this is a time where we got more people following us and talking to us, so we can
73
ask,
subscribers, man.
See, and we can get suggestions. We're not interior decorators. Like last I checked,
Yeah.
I'm terrible at it. If you were to ask anybody around my house,
You're pretty good, but you did bring up a good point last night when we were on the phone, where you're just like, I was because I'm changing up the intro just a little bit, like different music, and you're like, why don't you just put a poll up and see what people think? And I'm like, man, like, that's a great fucking idea.
It is a great idea. And I'll shout it out right now. I did that right before we got onto this episode, and I had one of our great subscribers actually respond back and tell us that we need to specifically talk tonight about shoes, shoe types, and the appropriate times to wear them and not wear them, if I saw that correctly.
Oh, okay.
And so
sure.
We'll just have to shout it out to one of our favorite artists.
Who dat?
It's my niece, actually. She responded right back and goes, "You fools really need to talk about shoes." And I said that is...
Wait, has she watched the podcast?
Oh, she's one of our major subscribers, dude, I'm pretty sure. And she responded immediately back. And I thought that was great. And she said, worst versus best shoes and when to or not to wear them.
Great.
So let's touch on that real quick. For somebody who actually has been interactive with this, I think that's fabulous. So I think I'll let you start off. What is your best shoe, and when is the right way time to wear it?
Oh man. So obviously, I think it's very specific as to what you're doing. So for me, I've had Jordans, sandals.
Let me see.
Well, I'm not wearing shit right now. I actually, you know what? I think the best shoe is no shoe. That, if you want my personal opinion,
There
like
you
you can
go.
ask all my friends. I'm barefoot, caveman. Like my whole life, I never I wear shoes when I need to.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like really wearing shoes when I don't have to. But if I were to pick one, I would say the overall is a good, comfy steel toe boot. Not because like, oh, it's a boot, like, you know, it's just they're very durable. They're comfy if you get a good pair. You know, they support your ankle. You know, and like I said, this is position specific. You know, I do shit outside. I ride bikes or dirt bikes. I do shit, and I feel like a
So
boot,
for your lifestyle,
for my lifestyle
boot is the answer.
But like, even if you're like I don't know, let's say a girl, like maybe combat boots.
But
you know,
you're not a girl, so
like you could wear those. But I'm just thinking, yeah, it's very like lifestyle specific. Like if I were to go into different lifestyles, like yeah, for what I do, boots. But if I want to be fashionable, I'm gonna go with the high top Jordans. Sorry, I'm a high top guy.
okay.
But for the ease of getting the fuck on and off my feet, dude, obviously flip flops. Like if I could, I'd wear flip flops anywhere because my feet can breathe. You know, they can pull it in and out. But it's a hard question because it's like, what lifestyle are you thinking of?
I think that's the correct answer, though. Is like, you know, if I was to answer this fine young lady's question, I would think specifically it was worst versus best. The worst shoe out there, in my personal opinion, would be a high heel because who wears that?
You're gonna break your ankle.
I can't wear that. You know, somebody does wear that. It looks painful to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And is there a best or worst time to wear a high heel? Well, yeah, of course. You know, if I go out on a formal date or a formal thing, then a high shoe maybe is the way to go, or a platform, I guess. But I don't know. So that's the worst shoe, if you ask me. But the best shoe, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm a Pacific Northwest guy, right? And my lifestyle leans towards kind of more of that safety deal. You know, so I find myself kind of leaning towards like that preppy, or not preppy. That'd be hilarious. The prepper, like outdoorsy type guy, right?
Yeah.
I ride a motorcycle, you know, and then I have a 4-wheeler, so I'm a boot guy too, really when it boils down to it. A leather boot is the way to go.
You're just covering the spread more, I feel like.
Yeah, it's universal.
Yeah.
I'm that guy that's like, you know, I'm cheap, so if I'm only going to buy 3 pairs of shoes, and that's all I own all the time. I wear my boots a lot. I always go to a flip flop or a slide. Everybody likes to see my slides.
The
Obviously,
slides are, you know what? Actually, I agree. The slides are
the
fucking
slides,
sick. Yeah.
you know, slides are the jam because they're airy. They're easy to move on. But sometimes I notice I almost eat shit in water because how are you supposed to wear them in a shower? And then sometimes I wear them outside and I about fall down.
Right.
That's weird. But running shoe, at the end of the day, like I think what's comfortable, I think is a running shoe. Like I've been through like the Adidas runners. I like them for when I'm basically, you know, anything dry, moving around. That's the way to go. You're not gonna break your ankle, hopefully. So
I did rock those
shoe.
for a while at work because I'm walking on fucking pavement all day.
Yeah, you see the Hoka or the Brooks or like what is it, like the Skechers, or like for the work crews, like the new like Super Cloud Foam Jam. I could get behind that because I've tried some of those types of shoes. And for people who have foot problems, you're like, yeah, that's comfortable, but that's not fashion if you ask me. You ain't jamming out on your Hokas or whatever and going formal or even semi-formal or any trends behind that besides the yoga pants.
You know, I like. If you also want, you can pull. You should be able to pull that closer to you if you want it. You know, just
The
so
table?
No,
My phone?
the mic stand should extend further. Just so you know, if I see you lean forward, I don't know if you want to hurt your back or whatever, but.
Old jokes already, young guy. Okay.
No.
That's pretty good. Solid.
But you know, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like I'm very simple. I'm a very simple guy when it comes to like. You know, I grew up and I knew like shoe people that were like, oh, like it's mostly like the guys with the Nikes, right? Like, oh, I got the fucking Jordans or the Air Forces, whatever.
That was the big thing. That's
And
the big jam, apparently.
Growing up, I'm just like, you know, I just want something that's going to cover my feet, you know? And I never really thought about comfort until I started getting bigger and, you know, put on weight and shit. And then I'm just like, even then, I just have a couple of pairs or brands that I cycle between, and I don't go farther beyond that. And then I know other people that just know about like all these boot brands and shit. I'm just like, I just find what, you know, like how about that? Like that's what I'm thinking is the best shoe, I think, and another way to put it is one that you find that works. If you put it on, if it works, great. You know, like I don't think there's one right answer to it, and yeah, I just never thought about that. That's really interesting.
That was solid.
That's
I
pretty
appreciate
solid.
that. It's a topic thing. I like that also because I was thinking about earlier today. Like I should have obviously, a couple notes of some topics to talk about on the podcast. And I don't know. This is why you invite me because I'm bad at that and I'm on the fly.
No, I like that you have done that because I kind of did that a couple times on episodes, but I just felt like it just didn't work. But I think that's good that you can come on because then it gives us something to talk about. And I wasn't expecting that, so that's really cool.
I think so too. So I think we're talking about the poll earlier too. We should shout out to those people and ask you're curious about changing up the intro, right?
Yeah, well, I already changed it, but I can still change it again. I wanted to just because I was doing this slow jazzy music, and it was my first one I ever done. But now I'm okay, I want to do something rock music or some shit.
I think you were hitting it with the rock idea. I think we need to figure out and have maybe some suggestions, like we talked about, uncopyrighted.
Yeah, well, that's this editing program I have gives you copyright free music. There's no lyrics. It's just it's just music. And so I'm just okay, I want something when you press play, it kind of if it's Monday morning, you put it on and you just hit it, or if you hear it, you're yeah, I'm ready to get the day going, and that's what I was thinking.
100%.
But there's so many genres out, you have it's something. It might seem little to some people, oh, who cares? The intro's only 10 seconds, whatever. But I was that's how I've treated this podcast. Is I think it's all the little details that matter. It's the intros, the editing, but also I've worked really hard and trying to adjust. I made sure all the microphones match so that way they all sound the same. I've learned these boards and shit, and so it's I don't want someone to think, because I have heard some people be oh, that's easy, I could do that, and yeah, sure, you can get a pretty cheap Amazon kit, but I just really love this thing, and so I feel the reason why I care about something as simple as the intro music is because I care, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, we're gonna do this for another year or two, you're saying?
I'm gonna keep doing it, like I said, until I put the wheels in the dirt. Whether whether people, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it, is basically where I'm at. I'm just doing this for for me, for you, just for us to have fun, and I'm not trying to make anything off it or whatever. It's just cool.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I think it's a really fun time. Definitely a learning experience. I think that's what I love about it the most.
And I've learned so much doing this. I never thought about running an EQ board or editing programs or camera things. I
can't spell EQ board.
I didn't expect to learn any of this, but part of it was I've talked about this before in previous episodes. I love technology and working on shit, so it was kind of that passion, but also just liking the idea of what a podcast was. And so I'm okay, this is a great excuse for me to spend a bunch of money on some cool looking shit to make this thing that I want to do. Yeah. That's what my dad told me. He's dude, you got to fucking write this off on taxes. I was I can't though. I don't have a business or anything for it. I'm not making money off of it.
It's that big EIN conversation, right?
Yeah, exactly. But
it's always there.
It's always there. Yeah, just lingering over my head.
100%.
But dude, it's just, yeah.
Well, still, let's talk a little bit about some more goals.
Well,
what do you got?
Let's finish the shoe thing really fast.
Oh.
The shoe. Yeah. Basically, I guess I got out what I was trying to say about that, but here's a controversial opinion: is I think Vans fucking suck. Sincerely, I think they are a garbage shoe.
Okay.
I think that's the worst for your feet. I think they breathe well. But I know a lot of Converse, Vans, don't like them. I don't like the way they look. I don't like their, if I have one opinion about shoes, it's Converse. I don't like them. And
because your foot ain't flat.
It's just,
I've
wore them, and
I'd love to, but I just can't because my foot does not go to that flat style shoe.
Yeah, it's just too flat, and it's you might as well just walk on the pavement, I don't know.
I think that's kind of the idea too.
Yeah.
I did learn though that Vans. This is kind of funny, and this person will comment later. That Vans are actually really amazing for your jet ski shoe or your river shoe, actually. So
I can see that.
A used pair of Vans as your water shoe actually is fire, I found out.
I can see see that.
If anybody wants to kick down a pair of 11 Vans used or 11 and a half, I'll take them. I'll come back in a couple of weeks and let you know how they work at the river.
Yeah, no shit, dude. Fucking, but yeah, that. I just want to let that across. I know that's gonna piss people off, but I don't care. I think
controversy gets hits. Maybe all of a sudden there'll be a big blowout on the social media
boot brand.
messaging.
I rock Red Wings. I like my Jordans. I got a pair of Adidas. And I got my flip flops, and that's what I rock. It depends on what I'm doing, but I would never own a pair of Converse. But
if we're gonna talk brand, I will have to say that I am pretty loyal to my Adidas. I found that my Adidas running shoes and slides are the only way to go. Boots, obviously, don't make a boot that I'm gonna even try. I found that out a long time ago.
Danners are nice too. Danners, I feel like if you get the lower top. Because my Red Wings, they're the full fucking boot.
It's like a 13-inch.
Yeah, it's big. And then the Danners have that kind of half top size. I like those for a general purpose. And if I had the extra money to spend on them, I would own a pair. But they do have a certain kind of boot where it's you can wear that as both not fashion, but you can look good with it, but also it's durable.
Okay.
Yeah. Another one, Romeo's. I don't get them. I never got them. I moved here. I seen everyone wearing them, and I'm like,
did you buy a pair? They're like $70.
I never bought them, and I'm just I don't see the point. I'm like, I would rather that's like a moccasin with leather. I just never understood. It blew me away when I moved here. I'd never seen Romeos before in my life. I'm like, what the fuck are all these guys wearing?
They're pretty awesome, dude. There's no ankle support, right? But
that's my thing is there's no ankle support.
But the pros they are a closed-toe shoe. There's leather that's workable. That's you can't remake them a Danner, but they're cheap. They're $75 or something. Okay. Somebody else can quote me later. Probably $100.
All right, I'll look it up right now. But
for most guys rock them because they're a cheap work. Slide on is what it's called, I'm pretty sure. But same deal, they're flat like a van. I can't rock them all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing is they're flat. Nothing about them. I was like, I'd rather own a nice pair, a real set of boots. Yeah, okay, so range of $100 to $170.
Okay. So
women's might be slightly less for about $75.
Well, a couple years ago or whatever, maybe that's.
Well, yeah, they probably have gone
up.
$75.
So pre-COVID, maybe. That's when I bought them. So yeah, they were cheap. They were under $100. So you get a pair of $100. They last a year if you beat them up.
Hey, I know a ton of my friends. They have Romeos. They rock them. Yeah, Farby. They
Phil.
work for them. I'm just I just feel like I just don't get it. I'd rather just own a real boot. That's just my thing. But so yeah, I'm not a fan of the Romeos. Definitely not a fan of the Converse or the Vans, whatever the fuck.
Well, we can agree on that.
But
definitely
anyway,
style. That's just when you dip into style. People could do things that are painful and crappy for style, right?
And now that I think about it, Vans are basically like a Romeo.
They're flat.
Okay, let's look at because I'm looking at the Romeo here. It's got it's got the elastic there. So let's see. Converse. Oh.
Okay, fine.
I think the Converse literally they have laces, and that's probably the only difference.
Converse was the OG basketball shoe, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They're what is that one commercial? Lamborghinis for the feet or some shit like that.
That's hilarious. I'd love to see that actually. I love Lamborghinis for my feet. But flat.
It's basically
all my kids,
but I've
middle schoolers right now. That's what they wear, and it's cool. They look cool. They can style them really
they
well,
look
but
cool,
they don't feel good.
Man, I'm just like God, because all that's underneath these is these hexagonal patterns for the support in the sole, and it just you can feel it, and I'm just no. But I've seen these where right here in this section, the upper part of where the shoe comes up, it's got that elastic, stretchy shit like a Romeo has. I've seen that before, but yeah, Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, that's what my middle schoolers roll. One of my middle schoolers, she's big into wearing Chucks. Her and her friends.
I know so many people are gonna talk shit about that, but I don't care, dude. I just not about it.
That's how you get hits.
Yeah, I don't care. But okay, so what do you have to add to that? Is there like a shoe or something that you will not wear?
Well, because I know the viewers are going to ask. Yes, this is what I'm wearing right now because you're not wearing shoes. You're a shoeless man. But right now, I am actually wearing a Doc Marten. I've never owned Doc Martens before.
I've heard about those. Yeah.
And so I'm wearing Doc Martens right now. They're actually pretty good. I do notice that I think they run a little. I don't know if they have a wide. I think I have a wider foot. Is half the reason why I run the shoe issues. So I think they're a little on the skinny side. So if they had a wide, I think I'd be happier. But I'm gonna tell you that I'm hard on my shoes, like straight up, like right out of the gate.
Oh, dude, I'm brutal.
One, I don't own a lot of shoes. I don't change my shoes out a lot. So I'm just straight giving these boots a run for their money. And this is their original leather. You want to check them out?
Oh,
It's their original leather Postman style.
That's bad to the bone.
You know what I'm saying? I like them. I love the style. You know what I'm saying? Like, they look good. It's got a round toe, so it feels decent. The stitching's yellow, looks good. When they're dirty, they're dirty. But you can wipe them quick and make them look decent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They're almost like the Ariat boots.
But look, where it's like, I think it's not quite wide enough.
Yeah, see, my Red Wings are doing that, and they're starting to rip right there. So I haven't worn them lately because I have to go get them resewn.
See, I even went way out of my realm and did a ton of research about Doc Martens, which I know about leather because I ride a motorcycle, so I have leather vests, leather chaps, I have a leather wallet. Like, I'm fairly used to having some knowledge on leather. But I even did some research. This one time, the un-American way, I did research on how to take care of these leather boots and bought the Doc Marten, specific beeswax, whatever, and have been trying to condition them a lot and keep them soft, and they're still cracking within the first year. So
dude,
I could use some good advice on like how to keep that stuff from cracking.
I do, actually.
What you got?
So, and wear my Red Wings at work. Believe it or not, folks, when you work around cannabis or hemp all day, Keef acts like sandpaper. Keef dries out leather and destroys it.
Yep.
And I figured this out the hard way. I've ruined good boots working in the industry, and it's amazing how brutal Keef and hash is on clothing in general and shit. But anyway, so I figured out there's the boot store here, Sedlax. They sell, it's like a lotion. It's like leather. I'll show you what the bottle looks like, but it's super cheap. But it's like a leather conditioner, and I apply it like once every 2 weeks, and literally like it says like, oh, you're supposed to clean the boot with the wet cloth, and then you're supposed to like put it on a towel, wipe it on. I just put the lotion on my hands and just feel the whole boot and rub it in with my hands.
Get it on the boot.
Just get it on there thick, and then like let it sit for a day. And it says you're supposed to like wipe it off and then let it sit. But I let it sit on there with the full layer on there.
24 hours?
No, just for like an hour. Like, you're supposed to put the lotion on, and then it says once you cover the whole boot, you wipe all the excess off.
Right.
But I just leave the excess on and just let it sit for at least an hour like that to just draw it in, especially if it's really dry.
Maybe that's my problem, is I don't let it sit long enough. I find
you need to let it sit for a minute so it can pull it in. And
because I guess you're right. Why would you put it on and then just wipe it right back
because
off?
It's going on the surface, so it makes it look like it's wet, but that's just the surface. Especially with something as dense as leather.
Good enough.
So
what about this one? Have you ever used that stuff and you put it on the inside of your boot and condition the inside where it's like that super soft side?
No, because the inside of my boots, at least, they're like fabric. They're kind of like a flannel
like a
looking.
thin silhouette?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
See,
so I couldn't.
These docs are not, and so I actually conditioned the inside also to try and get that leather like super soft. Because we all know where the bending points of your toes are, right? That's the hot spot for ruining your leather. Period. In case nobody knows that. I even took the conditioner and put it on my hand, on the towel and whatever, and put it in the boot.
That's how I would do it.
And then lotion the shit on the inside a couple times. And still I get a crack on this one side. So I really wonder if that's a sizing issue or a conditioning issue.
It could be a sizing, but yeah, I would recommend like putting that shit, like just lather it on there. Like even if it seems wasteful, I don't give a shit. I lather it on there thick and let it sit for at least an hour. But if I have the time not doing anything, I'll let it sit for a couple. And then I'll like wipe off the excess and clean it. Then I'll relace it and let it sit or call it good. I mean, but yeah, I try to let that shit sit unless if it's something like, I'm sure there's certain, like, I feel like maybe mink oil, or there might be certain products you could use that you could probably overdo, like that might be acidic, that could break down the leather. But this stuff I'm talking about, I don't think does that. I think it's just like a natural fucking conditioner.
I just did mink on my wallet. Check it out.
Right, yeah, you were just talking about this, yeah. Dude, this thing is so fucking sick.
Does that feel...
The size of that chain, dude.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can... There we go. Look at that.
I don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah, big chain. It's like whenever a big truck, compensates for things.
Yeah, that
But
is.
but I also same deal. Like I emptied all my stuff out of it, and then I wiped it down, and gave it like
That's pretty badass.
a few. That wall is awesome. It's gonna be the keepsake for somebody. Hopefully, I never lose it.
Yeah.
Somebody else could rock it in their life. But that's the nice things about leather.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, shit, leather lasts forever if it's taken care of. Like, there's leather at the Titanic right now that's still preserved because of the way they have to treat it.
Oh, fun facts.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's a little fun fact. Like, because, when you go that deep, the bodies disintegrate after a while. But the leather is treated with, like, these types of acids. So when you go and explore it, you'll see the boots and the clothing in the original positions where the bodies were. And they're untouched because the bacteria doesn't want to fuck with it. So, little fun fact.
Okay, didn't know that about
Yeah,
leather.
it's fucking bizarre. Like, there's pictures of, like, sets of boots around the Titanic, and they're just completely not touched because, nothing.
They're just boots that are still there.
Full of lead and mercury and whatever the fuck they were using to treat, whatever the tanning solution is or whatever they call it. I don't know shit about leather.
I'm not a leather guy either. I like to wear it. That's all I know.
Yeah.
It's safe. I think it's safe.
Yeah.
I can imagine sliding down the road without wearing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I think about welding. It's durable for welding. You're wearing straight up cowhide and you're not getting burned.
Go team, whoever figured out leather.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, let's see. How old is leather?
We're going from shoes to what's up with leather.
Wait, who was that again that asked the shoe question? We'll give him another shout out.
Oh, that's my niece. We call her at my house Cousin Danny. She's our favorite little artist and rock star. She's into leather and rock also. So.
Shout out Danny. Look at this. Evidence of its use dating back 400,000 years.
Okay, well, it makes sense.
Early
it is
human
animal hide.
Yeah, no shit. I didn't realize it was that old. That's insane.
Imagine all the cool stuff.
Thousands of years.
Make an animal hide. You get cold out.
Drums, clothing, like
Clothing
roofs.
would be the big one.
Yeah. Fucking.
Fun facts. I love leather. I've thought about leather working in the past, but I think I just buy it from the local leather guy.
I remember the Amish where I used to live. You can go to some of them and you can just. I have to show you this now we're talking about it, but.
You got Amish leather lying around.
My brother-in-law gave this to me, but I think the Amish made this. He wanted them to make something to hold a chew can. And so that goes on your belt, and
Obviously.
it fits a can of chew, and they made
Straight
it.
up Copenhagen, long cut.
Straight up Copenhagen. But I'm not sure if it was this, or if it was, I'm pretty sure it was this, but the stamp throws me off. But they had stamps for shit, too. But pretty sure it was that. But yeah, they would make you all sorts of shit. Bags, wallets, for cheap. Just had straight leather shops.
That makes sense. I mean, they're taking an animal and breaking it into probably every part and making money from
Making
it.
broth out of the bones, whatever it is.
Curious. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
I don't chew.
Not me, but
You just put it on your belt and look
Well,
awesome.
he gave it to me years ago. I used to chew. I used to chew pretty regularly, and he gave it to me before I moved out here, and I don't chew anymore. But I keep it because it's cool.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been a whole year. Let's do.
Okay, other goals, you said. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about next year. What are we gonna do? Looks like the dirt bike's ready to go. So are we camping a couple times? Hit up that Oregon coast, hit that sand. I'm pretty much ready to go.
Yeah. I think going to the dunes. Trying to get more footage of shit. You know, definitely. Yeah, just doing more outdoorsy shit.
I think the way for us to really start hitting on that footage thing is the one thing I've been thinking about, especially since I drive a lot for my job. You see me, I'm pumping your work all the time for break, right? Is I almost think it's time for me to get a car video system. You know, you see all these truck drivers run the cameras in the vehicle.
Yeah.
I run a delivery vehicle a lot of times during the week, and then my own personal vehicle I think should have one also, just because I like driving around in the wilderness. It's one of my favorite things. I think that would be a great way to start getting content. And you specifically, and I'm so proud of you, in case nobody knows, this guy got his certificate as a storm chaser, so he's actually allowed to take and report weather reporting.
In Benton County, yeah.
In Benton County, in case you don't know, that's local for all our local guys. And I think that's pretty interesting. But I think the dash cam, that's what that's called.
Yeah, the dash cam.
I think the dash cam, not only for our own safety, because people from Portland sometimes migrate out of Portland.
Yeah, they're trying to catch the insurance check.
Yeah, dude, it's so wacky, dude. You know, or doing some shady shit. But we see some interesting things on the sides of the road all the time, just like everybody else. And I think that's always a hot topic, dude. Is, you know, why is that guy rolled over in the ditch over there? How did those tire tracks end up in those bushes? Like, why is that car over there? You know,
Right,
and
right.
there's always like interesting motorhomes parked on the sides of roads looking shady like it's Breaking
anytime
Bad.
you and I ride together, we'll always like just our little comments about shit or just like the stuff we talk about is hilarious too. Like, and see, that's the thing, because like when I first imagined this, I was like, oh, like we'll have fun and I'll record it at the same time. But it's hard to have like for me to do that. You know, it's almost like we needed either, like you said, dash cams, or we have like a third person who's willing to just dedicate themselves to record shit. You know, that's the only ways you're going to get it. You know, like, cause yeah, I didn't think about that before, where I'm like, I can't ride my dirt bike and have fun and shoot footage at the same time.
No,
You
no.
know?
It takes a squad. It takes a tribe. You have to
Yeah.
have a whole little tribe. I think this is where it's funny about the whole family dynamic is when you start, like, I'll use a gentleman's name, Mr. Cameron Haynes. You know, he started off, I'm pretty sure his kids followed him around with cameras all the time. So, I mean, child labor is not unrealistic. If you buy some high-end cameras and have some capable children who are smarter than all of us follow us around with some cameras, they're going to grab great footage.
Yeah.
Like, that is just the name of the game right now.
Yeah.
Like technology and the time where we are right now, I think we can almost guarantee that if we put ourselves around some 10 to 15-year-olds ish, you know, and we put cameras in
Pay
their
them
hands.
some money.
Well, you know, you have to
or,
pay
or tip them. We'll say tip. I don't know if that's legal. It's child labor.
Well, actually, my middle schooler actually busted out the labor laws and printed them off for me, and showed me about like where she can work, how she can get paid, working for ag in Oregon. It was very enlightening, very smart.
No shit.
But yeah, and we sat down with family a while back and talked to them about like child actually pay rate through ag was actually kind of cheap if I remember.
I think it's like, or
but there's
actually, I don't know.
there's certain hours they can work. They can't work a whole day, you know. But I mean, you can still put 10,
Yeah.
12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds to work all day long. But
I
not
mean,
all day
I
long.
did it when I was like 12, 13 too. I was stacking hay for money. You know, it was shit pay.
You did that? I've never stacked hay.
Well, I grew up on my at the time when I was a young kid, I hated it. But now I look back on it, and it was probably some of the most fun I've ever had. But, you know, we had 140 acres, you know, about 80 of it was hayland.
Yeah.
And, you know, back at my old house, back in the prime, we had horses and shit, and we were also selling hay. That's how we was making a lot of money. So we would, you know, I learned how to chop hay using old farm equipment, you know, like 1950s tractors. No side. No, we weren't that bad. But no, we had like a tow behind combine, rakes, a baler. I knew how to do that. But most of the time I was in the wagon. So we had a square baler that would kick the hay. Instead of like around here, you see these hay fields where they just leave the hay bale in the field and then you have to go around and pick them up and shit. The baler we had would actually physically kick them into a wagon with enclosed walls. And so my job was I would be in there stacking hay as it would fill up because you could fit more hay on a wagon load when it's stacked rather than it just being thrown in there chaotically.
Hilly, right.
And so I did that at my own house, but then like when I started getting older, I started realizing, like, I wanted money to do shit. So I wasn't getting paid for it to do it at my house. I was doing it at my house. Like I had to do it anyway just so we could live. But then I would go to other farmers and it would be usually like me, my brother, or sister, whatever the fuck. And then you're getting paid like $5 an hour, $4.75 an hour, and you're doing the same shit. You're either out there walking the field stacking hay, or you're in the wagon stacking it up for them. And so I did that for at least 2 or 3 summers. And at the time I fucking hated it, but it was pretty fun. Now I look back at it.
I think it builds character.
But like the thing is I remember the guy writing it in his taxes, and he could it was totally legit. Like I was 13, 12. I know it was a couple years before I started smoking, which was 14. But it was literally he wrote it down on his paper. Like he kept track of it. It was taxed and everything. But it was some law or something like that where it was totally legit.
Yeah, well, a lot of these farms hire kids. I think that's great. I think these kids all need to go work at farms.
I tell you what, man.
Start driving early too.
Yeah. It's I can't recommend it enough, really, because it's like it made me kind of helped me develop into who I am in a certain way, like just kind of respecting that kind of work. And I feel like it's good for any kid to just That's some real life shit. That's fucking hardcore, dude. Stacking hay in a 120-degree hayloft, breathing in fucking hay dust and shit.
No, my eyes hurt you just talking about it. Ow, ow, ow. I couldn't carry enough eye drops.
I remember I would stack the hay, but we would all draw straws or take turns who was going to be in the loft. And when we had hay elevators that at the bottom of the barn, you put the bale on it and the elevator takes it up. Then it goes up into the loft and just drops it. And then our job is just wait for it to fall. And then you pick it up and then you start stacking it in the loft so you can fit more into the loft. And dude, we'd it would be so hot. So fucking and dusty. And I was always up there, dude. Fucking no shirt, so the hay's sticking at you. You're getting cut up. And it's brutal.
Well, hay's terrible. I don't like hay just for the simple fact that it comes this time of year, right? And I go ripping down the road on my motorcycle. Well, that stuff's kicking up off the road in my face, in my eyes, in my ears. It's painful.
Yeah. Cutting hay or cutting wood. Logging's one thing. Logging's hard fucking work. Oregon logging's different. When I grew up, we were just going to the woods and dropping trees and chopping them up and splitting them there just so we could heat our house in the winter. Right. Out here is something different, so I can't really speak on that. But I think just simply chopping wood or whatever to keep your ass warm, like you needed to do that, also humbles you too, to a degree.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Fun times.
Fun shit. But anyway, we went on a tangent there. But having a kid help or somebody who wasn't particularly I want to focus on getting the shot rather than having fun with us, because it's we're always going to be doing that, having fun. So just finding someone to fill in that role will be a bit challenging, but I would like to do more of that, is to try to document more of us on our the disc golfing. If we could play disc golf and then someone's just there with a camera catching us, the funny and edit it down, or we go fishing or some shit.
It's the content. It's all about the content.
Because I'm convinced, I see a lot of this YouTube shit, and I'm like, this is just stuff that most people do. They just edit it really well to make it, look really good. And I was like, if I get good at editing, I could make the most basic shit seem fun as fuck. And that's what a lot of this stuff is.
Like that. We can take that dirt bike project and make it look highly entertaining.
Make it look hilarious. Look at this. Yeah.
Working on the Honda. Oh, this is how you rip a cylinder head off. This is so much fun.
After 2 years of sitting in the corner with spider webs, I snap a head stud off the top. But yeah, you know,
That's
that's you know, it's a long-winded answer to what you're saying. But no, it's yeah, I feel like that just catching more footage. But yeah, also just being outside and doing more stuff, even in the wintertime, because I feel like the wintertime you think like, oh, it's foggy and shitty out. There's still stuff to do.
Call me. Let's go snow wheeling, bro. I'll shoot guns and drink beer, and we can go try and get stuck. You have a winch? I got a winch. Like,
Yeah,
let's
my winch
go,
works now.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't have to go to the wilderness again. Like,
Right.
let's not be scared. I'm not scared.
Yeah, no, I'm not either. What about you though? Like, you know, you and I've talked about this before. Going off of that, you know, you've been a regular guest at this point, and I definitely want to keep you a regular guest because I tell people this all the time. I know a few people to have on as new ones, but there's going to be some regulars on here, and you're definitely number one. Do you like foresee yourself starting your own, like maybe not starting your own channel, but like maybe doing like little reels or something? Have you thought about that at all? Like, I know you've pondered the idea. You got like the stand for your phone. You kind of post some stories up sometimes. What are your ideas? Maybe not for the podcast, but like for this space. What do you think?
I have that struggle. We've talked about this quite a bit. I think it takes a tribe to make these things happen, and I understand how vertical integrated business works. So for me, I think this year is where I have to understand and grasp the concept that just like you, I think we need to be working together. We figured this out where I need to be recording content. You need to be recording content. We need to be making content together. And then we probably need to piggyback back to back our content together. And that's how we're going to lure people in, is because we're going to have so much content. It almost seems to me that it would be easier to work on this project together and hold each other accountable and project it into what we want than to do something by myself. I don't mind like doing most of it. I think it appeals to me, but as I kind of like explore, hopefully maybe an internet personality, I would almost like want to go into radio. I think, you know, I would love to do like voiceovers, commercial ads, something like that. I don't know. I don't know if necessarily. I think I'm hilarious. This is what I run into, Jack, is like, you know, like my wife says, you think you're funny, but you're not that funny. You just bullshit with everybody, you know, and laugh at your own jokes. I don't know. So
yeah, but you have a certain level of charisma to you that like you're like, I've told you this before. It's like when you first meet you, like if you don't know who you are, like you're a lot of person to deal with at first, like, and then you're like, is this dude fucking for real right now?
Okay,
like
hilarious.
This dude is bizarre. But then like you get to know you, and you're like, oh no, like this dude, you're legit as fuck. I don't mean that in a bad way.
It's
like,
all good.
It's good. Like I feel like people like you are hard to find, and it's always like, you know, it's great. And so, but I feel like where you would dominate the territory is like what I'm finding out is like these Instagram reels, like not necessarily your story, you know, there's reels. And I didn't even realize this. Like, I guess it makes sense because when you're scrolling on your phone, you know, a lot of the shit you're watching is like reels or whatever. And I'll post something as a reel on accident sometimes. And then it's like, oh, your reel got 500 views. And I'm like, what? And then I look, and it's because it's going off into the public internet space versus when you just do a story, it's just between you and your friends. And so, like, I just made a reel earlier. Before you know, here, let's take a pause here. I gotta go pee, and then we'll come back. We're talking about reels, and we'll be right back. Wait, what'd you hear about castor oil?
You rub castor oil on your tits and make them stay firm. I don't think you can rub it on your nuts and make them stay like up.
Oh my god, dude!
Gravity problems. Reels. Don't.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Okay, yeah. We were talking about reels. Okay, so what especially with what I've learned lately, at least to get it out there, reels go because then reels are out there forever. But yeah, they go to anybody, and so if your algorithm is, oh god, we're gonna smoke that thing.
Yeah, you like cigars.
I do like cigars.
It goes with your whiskey, scotch.
Talk
about your reels.
But I think that's where at least you would make great reels. And I feel like if you and River teamed up, and even Andy, like there could be a Keeping Up with the Caudells like reel catalog, and you guys could make some great shit. And it could even be like something stupid, like if you
Everything we do is stupid, dude.
like
That's my
even if it's
family.
just you
We're
grilling and there's like some, I won't say drama, but like something about it. Like if it's just, this is going back to what I was saying when we were off the air, but like if you capture the moment right and you edit it right, you can make the most basic things seem hilarious, bad, or like you can really do a lot with just the editing.
Okay.
And so I really feel like there's a huge, at least as far as like for you developing your things, we kind of talked about this, is like you would dominate the real game. And then what I think, or even if that wasn't what you wanted, if you want to do that at all, but I was going to offer you, if maybe you wanted access to, we'll drop this here, but access to the Hella Dank Podcast Instagram, and maybe you could have it on your phone, I'd have it on mine, which I think you can do. And then if you, like, see something funny, you can be, oh, right now I'm going to capture this on a reel, then you can, like, just record it, and then that way, we have each other's, like,
the content slaps out just immediately.
Yeah, and it's like on one account with both of our phones. So if I see something and you add it, you can be like or just put at Kelly Caudell, and then we'll be like, oh, that's who recorded it. You just put the at your own name, and then just put the story, or because stories are good too. People like stories because it feels.
I think we should dip into this. I think we should learn together. We've learned so much now. Like, why should our future of learning not include this skill?
Yeah. And like you said, like I agree with you. I think getting more people, like maybe not more people, but like the right people involved and trying to expand it. What was the phrase you used for it? Like
a tribe.
Get a tribe going.
Gotta have a tribe, bro.
And if I can trust that tribe, which obviously, like I trust you a lot, I think that could work.
I think we're gonna kill it. We have so far. Like our relationship has gone how many years now? Like just imagine.
I've known you for 10 years, almost 11 years now. So I moved here New York, or it was Christmas. It was the day after Christmas in 2014.
14.
But I met you like that week after New Year's in 2015. So literally, it's gonna be almost
10 years.
10 years, yeah. Oh my God! I've said this before, but it just still blows me away.
Yeah, we've talked
like
about
when you were telling
some stuff. Well, we should have started recording a long time ago.
Did the hydro shop stories, like when you were telling me
that alone.
When you were telling me yesterday, like I saw this guy, and I'm like, fuck, I don't really remember a lot of them. I remember because it was just the characters that came through that place. Anyway, it was just like, yeah, there's a lot of history.
Oh, mega shout out to that too. I got to reconnect. Also, that was great.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit.
Oh, because I'm crazy like that. I just reached out to an old, good, reliable, like contact friend of mine from the past who has always been a really solid gentleman, and he throws an amazing local party. And he brings in bands, and he's got the property to be able to do it, and he's a licensed grower, and he just has a what used to be the community of the grow shop, which was all the clientele, the people that live in that city and the outskirts, and it's a bunch of very amazing people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I just out of the blue just said I need to call this guy because I need to talk about some stuff. So I just call him out of the blue, and it just rekindles those relationships, right? Get invited to the party, go there, and get a reconnect with a bunch of people there and rekindle relationships, which is all about what the tribe's about. Like we're just talking about. Like there's just so many people in the world that are involved in things that I have no idea about, or are so knowledgeable in things that I'm so naive about, that I find that it's all about who you know, right? If you know the right people, you can navigate the world really well. You just have to ask the right people and not be afraid.
Right. Yeah.
So it was really interesting. We've lost people, like you talked about death at the beginning of the show. Like, yeah, we've definitely had some bads and goods. And when you rekindle with communities, you find out of people you've lost. but also people that have grown and have families. You see little kids running around now who used to be tiny, but they're like 6'6" and
It's bizarre,
200
dude.
some pounds, right? You're like,
Yeah.
you look just like your mom and dad. That's so funny,
Yeah. It's bizarre. Like, I kind of talked about this on a previous episode. When I went back to New York, I saw some of my friends there who, before I left there, they had babies, super young babies. And then I go back there to visit last August, and they're full, like, fucking 10-year-old, 11-year-olds now.
10
I'm
years
like,
ago,
holy
that's teenagers, man.
Like, holy
That's
shit.
full conversations about rock and roll music, skateboarding, how they love bands and you hate them. All that hip shit that, like, teenagers are into,
Right.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Anime, where, you're a little younger than me, so you could probably dip in that conversation.
The anime thing, I respect it. There's a couple of them I like. I just never really got into it. It's just, it's not that I can't focus on it that long. It's just, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it. So I have a couple I like, and I stick with that. And I don't. There's so many animes now. There's so fucking many, and everyone's like, "Have you seen this one? Have you seen that one?"
There's
I'm
a
like,
lot. It's just like TV shows now. It's just very broad now.
it's like I like One Punch Man. That one is hilarious. Attack on Titan's pretty cool. Pokemon, if you consider that an anime, I don't know if you do, but that's like
I
about
thought that
it.
was a video or a phone app now.
Well, yeah, it started as it was. I think it was technically like one of the first, Dragon Ball Z, of course. But
See, that's the one I recognize.
Yeah,
Only because
Pokemon is back there. I think I'll look it up, but
no. Now it's like what is it? It's like Arcane.
now there's the beer.
Oh no!
I just spilled it right there. We're good.
That's there's no profits in broken shit.
No profits. It's a tax write off.
Well, yeah, you got to pay money to get tax write-offs. Talking to the mic.
Okay, Arcane. I haven't seen that. Not really. I'm just not really into that animation shit a whole lot.
There was one that my kid made me watch part of the other day. It was really good. It was so realistic. I couldn't believe she told me it was anime because it was like a cartoon, right? But it was
some of them are very good.
It was
Yeah.
just like it reminded me a lot like what was that TV show or that one show with the swarm? It was Starship Troopers. It was
Yo.
it was Starship Troopers anime, and these people were wearing the suits and fighting and stuff, and I'm like, holy hell!
I wonder if that's
So interesting.
on Netflix. There's a TV show called Love, Death, Robots. And
I just heard about that like 2 days ago.
dude,
That's not it. It's
okay,
different.
that is cool. It's not all anime. Like they experiment. Like there's some what do they call it? Live action in it, but there's a lot of it are different types of animations. It's pretty good. Okay, but that's what I thought maybe you were talking. Because there's an episode in there where they're fighting off creatures like Starship Troopers in one of the most recent episodes.
Yeah, my kid was once again explaining this to me just the other day. She was a deep conversation, of course, with a teenager, and talking about how people in this exact show were like you see them for like 1 or 2 episodes and then they die.
Right. Yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah.
She goes, the one character is all robot and barely human and dies. I'm like, okay. It's just like through the weirdest like scenarios, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That's in Love, Death, Robots.
Love, Death, Robots.
Yeah. Yeah. There is.
So now I gotta watch it. Like apparently, so great.
It's so fucking because this is like we were talking about like short form is what people want, and the episodes in it, yeah, they're like anywhere between 6 to 12 minutes long total. Like for these
Captures your attention.
Yeah, like I think the first season they might be a little bit longer, but the most recent season, yeah, they're not more than I don't think 15 minutes. Like a little spoiler alert on the first, people if you haven't watched it, sorry, who cares? But the most recent season they put out, the first episode is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That song, what the fuck? Can't stop living for the shindig. That song or whatever.
Nice job. I don't know the name of it right now.
But you know what song I'm talking about?
No, so if I did, I'd name it. But,
It's Red Hot Chili Peppers. It doesn't matter.
See Flea slamming his fucking bass. You know what I'm saying? That's all I see right now.
This life is more than just a read through. That's the end of it. I don't know, fucking. But anyway, it's that song, one of their songs, and they do. You ever watch Team America?
No.
Okay, damn. Okay, so this animation, they kind of made their own music video of this song, and they're using what looks like marionette dolls, but they look like kind of realistic a little bit. And like the band's marionettes, the audience's marionettes. It's the whole fucking thing. It's pretty funny. But I lost my train of thought on that. Whatever. It just goes to show the different types of animations that they have. I forgot where I was going with that.
This is me texting my wife, "Eat it, baby." Make your train.
That's what distracted me. Is you're on your phone, and I just destroyed. I had to collapse, dude.
I don't even know.
That you guys saw that. That was not me. That was all Kelly, dude. You know that was one thing I talked about when you came on the first episode. You were on your phone like a good amount of the time in the beginning, and I was like, God damn it, Kelly was on his phone.
I'm looking at photos, dude, because I want to photo bomb, dude. I want to go back and look at stuff and be like, dude, you remember this day when you were wearing those boots? You know, because I think that's entertaining, but I haven't figured out how to, incorporate that into the podcast quite yet.
We talked about
that could be the real.
That could be the real about how Brian hooked me up with my first set of Jordans. I think you remember that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He came in. I think those were Jordans. Those black. I think they were black Jordans, if I remember right, and I was wearing those big ass alien boots, and then he came in and he's just like, man, like I was always wearing. He's like, man, you always wearing those? I was like, yeah, I just don't have normal shoes. I just wear these.
Yeah, we're tired of you being Oregonian.
And then he fucking walks in, brand new set of, shout out to Brian, dude. Like he really, he talks a lot of shit to me, but he's a pretty cool guy. And yeah, he just gave me a brand new set of shoes, never wore. I was like, wear these, dude. And I wore those fuckers until I blew the soles out, dude.
That solid guy, he works actually at my wife's job, and they lunch break and hang out all the time still.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Brian's solid, dude.
He'd be pretty funny
Brian.
to get on the podcast, dude. I'd like to
Brian.
have him on. Cheers, dude. Yeah. Yeah, he'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, he is fucking cool.
I had to yell at him a few times because he pissed me off. But
he's had to yell at me a couple times because I'm sure he's been mad at me.
Yeah. No, other than that, he's pretty chill.
Well, let's talk about I don't know. This. I know people are gonna ask later because we don't hear it in the comments, but like this whole like cup of tea that I'm swirling right now.
Oh, that's barely there it is. So you can probably see it, the little mug.
Anyway, so we got it's gardening season here in Oregon, so we're dealing with pH issues, with some of our at-home gardening plants. And I forgot a key piece of gardening equipment before I came here for a good person of mine. Sorry, Matt. But I tried to get a backup here, so we pulled this thing out of the closet, and we're rehydrating it here for
okay.
Conversations.
This is how about this? What's side conversation here. I feel like this is one thing that you taught me. This was one of the first things I learned about growing hydro or soil. Is it doesn't matter what you put in for fertilizer or none of that shit. If your pH ain't right, the plant ain't accessing it right. And
it's 100% correct.
Yeah, and so basically, how would you explain? Like, could you explain pH a little bit?
Oh, so basically, it's like anytime like anybody tells me their plants are having problems, right? My cannabis plants and my hemp plants look like they're dying. It's two things: it's pH problems and it's bugs. It's pretty simple.
Right.
So we always address pH, but the basics is this. You can always put out a platter of food for somebody, but they're not always going to eat it all if you block it with slaps of the hands or objects in the way. And if your pH range isn't a certain range, they can't eat the food, kind of,
right.
sort of. So it's just like the city. So most cities you live in will put water sources like 7 is neutral, just basically. Plants don't like neutral water. They want slightly less than neutral.
So like more acidic.
Yeah. And so then they can uptake all available nutrients. But the conversation goes, I like to swing mine. It makes more availability for different nutrients, micronutrients. So, but we're doing this for a friend of ours. We just want to make sure his garden does pretty good here pretty soon. Actually, our host and this gentleman that we're talking about have the same plants from the same farm, so we want to make sure they're doing pretty good for the season.
Does he have that autoflower? Or is it that
it's
clone?
It's that. What do you call it?
The Jiffy Puff or some
Jiffy
shit.
Puff.
I don't even know.
I call it the Jiffy Puff. No, Jiffy Pop. I think. I don't know. Just rename it. It's Oregon, right?
Dude.
It's called the
everything
Harry
I've seen. I was like, it could be whatever. A good friend of mine from a long time ago, Sam. He's gone, but he always said this thing is. I always used to be like, what kind of weed is that? What is that? And he's just like, it's all weed, dude. It's all weed. It doesn't matter. Like, there's some that are better than others, but at the end of the day, it's all fucking weed. And after working in this for as long as I have and seeing all the shit I've had, I'm like, yeah, he's right. It's all just weed. It all gets you high. There's no, like, maybe there's subtle differences, but at the end of the day, the result's the same. It really is.
100%.
And I think if you dispute that, you're either full of shit or you haven't smoked enough. That's
smoke more weed.
that's all I have to say. And I don't mean that in a cocky or mean way, but that's just what it is. That's just what we've both seen. God, this camera's about to die already.
If you're 21 or over, of course.
If you're 21 or over, this only
This
goes
state.
on 18 and up channel anyway. But
That's good. Follow the rules, children.
so yeah, I think going back, we were talking about your reels, and yeah, we can talk about that off camera just so we don't bore these people. But I think it'd be cool that like if we had your input, and like I said, and you've even said this before, is like just record shit, even if it seems like it's stupid or if it's not even like relevant, like just put it out there, and then you
record everything.
Yeah.
I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to edit. I'm not the editing guy. This is the tribe thing. I think if I made content, I need you to
It's
edit.
so easy,
what I'm
dude.
saying?
I'd even I can do it, but I'll even show you. I even show River, dude. But it's so it's not hard, dude. Like especially with the programs they use.
Time consuming.
It is. That's the thing. It's like, for
time
instance, when I do these podcasts, I have to sit through the whole hour and a half or whatever.
Yeah, you're doing it twice.
You're
doing the recording. You're doing the editing.
Yeah, and so it is time consuming. But if it's only like a 6-minute clip, it's you might have to put a lot of edits in there, so it might end up being more like a half hour to work on a 6-minute clip. But it's the end result will be good. But yeah, it's
This is why those base jumpers make so much money on reels and stuff.
Yeah,
It only
because
takes 5 seconds to jump off some crazy shit.
yeah, and then they put a 360 cam on their helmet, and it spins around, and it shows you everything. You just cut off the parts where you don't want to see. Bam, you got a fucking viral video. Done. It's insane.
Great. I'm gonna get you a helmet cam. You start jumping off shit.
Well, I'll jump out, as long as I know it's safe, of course. But if there's like a bridge with a body of water under it, I know it's safe, I'll jump off that shit. I'm good with that.
Bet.
I'll jump off some bridges or some rope swings, even with no health insurance. Okay, so we're at an hour, but first birthday of the podcast.
Yep, loving it.
It's been an interesting ride. I'm hoping it goes better. But yeah, this year I think it can only go up from here. Now I know what's going on, and you too. I'd like to have you on as a regular guest and have you be part of things. And I think
I think I think it's the growth. I think we're growing. I think it's all growing together, and I think it's growing copacetically. I think is the word that we're going to use here.
It's organic, and I feel like I don't want to. And I haven't put it out on other apps like Spotify or iTunes yet. Like, for one, because I want to build a bigger catalog.
Correct.
But two, it's just like we have 73 subscribers, and I can't even count 73 people on my hand. Of course, I probably could. Of course, I know you guys, but it's just off the top of my head, I can't think. And it's like the fact that those people subscribed and they watched, and even if they don't watch it all the time, but that it
means a lot.
Did that means a lot. And I'm
really
like,
does.
you know what? That's pretty fucking cool. And whether this is good or bad, I'm happy with it. I'm happy to have my friends part of it. And this is just, even if it stops in a year, I'll be able to be old or whatever the fuck and look back on this and be like, wow, dude, like that was pretty fucking awesome.
It is awesome. Should we do a shout out to? We talked about this a while back. Do we do shout outs to people that we met in the last year?
Of course, yeah. You know, actually, yeah. Go ahead.
Our new acquaintances. I want to say thank you to all our subscribers. I am always interested in content and suggestions. So if people have ideas that want to send us our way, please send them to Hella Dank Podcast. We want to. It's we're open to all suggestions.
Yeah. Seriously, hit us up, and yeah. Kelly thought of that, and yeah, I'll even put it out as a post. Suggestions, if you want to be on, if you have something to talk about, hit us up. If you want
to be a guest,
if you want to put a sticker on the table, like we don't want nothing. Like if you just want to be part of, like whatever the hell, just
come on through, contact us.
Come on through. Follow. Like you guys already follow us, but. Yeah, seriously, thank you guys. The likes, the comments, like even
it means the world.
The views is like just to see, even if there's one, that is pretty. That's all I want. Like it's cool. So yeah, thank you. Happy birthday to the studio.
Thank you, Jack, for making this happen.
Fuck yeah, dude. Thank you, dude. Thank you for being on here.
I have a couple shout outs I want to make sure.
Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Like my buddy Colby, thank you. You were one of the OGs, dude. Straight up, dude. I love your Beamer. I can't wait to drive it. You're the man. I'll rent it on Turo.
They'll blow a head gasket.
The Power Crew. You know who you are. You guys have been laughing about with, what's happening, but every time I come by you guys' spot and hang out with all you guys are funny. Great company. Great people. Corvallis, Oregon. Love you guys to death. And then Cousin Danny, way to go and be solid today. Hot topics coming straight through. You're the solid lady, dude. Appreciate you.
Right.
And then Jack, of course, you. Without you and your crew, your little tribe, your wife letting us do this in the background, yelling at us.
I was just gonna say, I want to give a big shout out to not only
everybody.
Yeah. Shelby, her family. Yeah, like you said, if it wasn't like. Of course, like, yeah, Shelby is a baller, man, like, letting us do this, and she's like, oh, man, we gotta, like, have people over for this or whatever, it's funny, but, she's a trooper, and she knows how much this means, and she's always been a deep supporter, her family, too, and so, don't forget, I didn't forget about you guys, I love you very much, and it means a lot that you guys watch, pay attention, or even notice, Shelby, I love you, and, yeah, that's... shout out to those guys.
Hell yeah, to our wives.
And my fam, the rest of the fam, the Sattler, the Haskell crew. Let's go. And a Caudell.
Yep, keeping up with the Caudells.
Cheers, guys. Thank you for checking into the Hella Dank Podcast.
Yeah,
follow Kelly. You. We're going to do some more shit this year. Happy birthday, that Hella Dank Podcast. We'll catch you guys the next time. We love you very much.
Peace.